Hello everyone, I'm delighted to see you all again in a new video where we'll share an interesting method for propagating roses. If you have a rose variety you particularly love, one that is healthy and produces beautiful blooms, and you want to propagate a few new plants without buying nursery stock, let's try out a simple yet effective method today. Over years of caring for roses, I've realized that the materials used are only a small part of successfully rooting a cutting. Far more important are selecting the right stem, handling it carefully, ensuring a clean cut, using a well-aerated growing medium, and above all managing moisture levels. Now, let's get started. First, we need a healthy rose stem that is free from pests or disease and has reached the right stage of maturity. This is a step I want you to pay special attention to. Look for a healthy, sturdy stem, dark green or slightly brownish in color with clearly visible dormant buds. It is ideal if the stem shows no signs of rot, fungus, or disease. Once you've selected the stem, trim it down to a length of about 20 centimeters. Next, remove all the leaves and sharp thorns from the stem. This not only makes handling easier, but also significantly reduces water loss from the cutting. Without roots, a rose cutting cannot absorb water from the growing medium like a fully established plant. Therefore, minimizing water loss early on benefits the recovery process. If there are any old leaves or large leaf stalks remaining on the cutting, gently remove them. Now, let's move on to the first step involving the lemon. Take a fresh lemon, wash it thoroughly, and cut it in half. Squeeze all the juice into a clean plastic cup, then add 500 milliliters of water and stir well. Lemon juice contains citric acid, vitamin C, and various other plant compounds. In this recipe, the lemon juice primarily creates a mildly acidic environment and provides a small amount of soluble compounds. However, please note a very important point: lemon juice is not a rooting hormone. Therefore, one should not assume the acid in the lemon will directly cause the rose cutting to sprout roots. The purpose of this step is to create an initial treatment solution based on traditional methods. Since lemon juice is acidic, the solution should not be too concentrated. Once the mixture is ready, dip the entire rose cutting into the lemon solution, ensuring the base of the cutting remains submerged for about 30 minutes. While waiting, we can prepare the second solution. Do not discard the lemon peels after juicing. Chop the peels into small pieces and place them into a clean plastic cup. Lemon peel contains essential oils, plant compounds, and natural antioxidants. The characteristic essential oils are responsible for the peel's strong aroma. However, due to this high oil content, it should only be used in moderation and in a diluted form. Next, add about 2 spoonfuls of coffee grounds to the container with the lemon peel. Coffee contains minerals such as potassium and magnesium, along with small amounts of organic compounds. In this method, coffee serves as a supplementary ingredient in the soaking solution. Now for the third ingredient, which is also very easy to find: cucumber peel. Take a fresh cucumber, wash it thoroughly, and peel off the skin. Cucumber peels contain water, small amounts of vitamins and minerals, and various plant compounds. When soaked in warm water, some of these soluble substances leach into the liquid. For cuttings, the most critical factors remain a clean, moderately moist, and well-ventilated environment. Chop the cucumber peel into small pieces and add them to the lemon peel and coffee mixture. After placing all the ingredients into the cup, add 500 milliliters of warm water. Stir well and let the mixture sit for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, check the rose cutting. If the stem remains firm, showing no signs of mushiness or abnormalities at the base, you can proceed. After 30 minutes, remove the rose cutting from the lemon solution. Use a clean strainer to remove any remaining lemon seeds, keeping only the liquid. Next, thoroughly strain the mixture of lemon peels, coffee grounds, and cucumber peels. I recommend using a piece of thin cloth or a fine mesh sieve to remove as much solid residue as possible. While simple, this step is crucial. Organic matter introduced directly into the moist rooting medium can decompose rapidly, potentially suffocating the medium or fostering mold growth. After straining, combine the liquid from the lemon peel, coffee, and cucumber peel mixture with the reserved lemon water. Now, let's move on to the rooting medium. Prepare a clean plastic cup. Fill it with clean, treated river sand and press it down gently. The cleaner the sand, the easier it is to control the environment for the cutting. Once prepared, slowly pour the mixture of lemon juice, coffee, and cucumber peel water into the cup of sand. You only need to moisten the medium evenly. There is no need to pour so much that water runs out excessively. If the sand is too dry, the base of the cutting will quickly dehydrate. However, if the sand is waterlogged, oxygen levels around the base drop, increasing the risk of rot. Place the rose cutting in the center of the cup, burying the base deep enough in the sand so the cutting stands firmly. Now comes a crucial step: creating a moisture-retaining environment. Take a clear plastic bag or a clear plastic cup and place it over the propagation cup and the rose cutting to cover them completely. The purpose of this cover is to maintain humidity around the cutting and slow down the evaporation of moisture from the stem. However, do not seal it completely for days without checking. If excessive condensation builds up, leaving the sides of the bag constantly wet and the environment stuffy, you should open it briefly to allow for air exchange. This is a detail many people overlook when propagating cuttings. Finally, place the container in a cool, well-ventilated spot with soft, indirect light, ensuring it is kept away from harsh, direct sunlight. In the days that follow, avoid repeatedly pulling the cutting out to check for root growth. Each time you remove the cutting from the rooting medium, you risk damaging the delicate, developing root tissues. Instead, observe the stem, the dormant buds, and the moisture level of the sand. After about 10 days, provided conditions are favorable, you may see green shoots beginning to emerge on the cutting. This is a very promising sign that the cutting remains viable and is continuing to grow. Spotting white, plump young roots emerging around the base is a moment to look forward to. However, keep in mind that the appearance of shoots does not always guarantee a fully developed root system. A cutting can sprout using nutrients stored in its stem before a root system has actually formed. Therefore, wait patiently until the root system is sufficiently strong before transplanting the cutting into a pot. Once the cutting has developed plenty of young roots and is growing steadily, gently remove it from the sand. Avoid pulling forcefully, as newly formed roots are fragile and easily broken. We've taken a small rose cutting through every step, selecting the stem, treating it with a lemon solution, preparing a mixture of lemon peel, coffee grounds, and cucumber peel, moistening the growing medium, and creating the right environment for the cutting to recover and develop roots. What I love most about propagating roses isn't just the final result. It's the daily anticipation, watching a tiny dormant bud wake up, seeing a new shoot emerge, and finally spotting those first white roots beneath the surface. A seemingly ordinary cutting, with the right care, can transform into a new rose bush that brings us beautiful blooms season after season. If you found today's video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so we can continue exploring more ways to care for, propagate, and revive roses in future videos. Prepare a pot with good drainage. Initially, you can use treated coconut coir as the growing medium. It retains moisture while still allowing for adequate airflow around the roots. When planting, place the cutting in the center of the pot, gently cover the root area with the medium, and water moderately. After repotting, do not expose the plant to harsh, direct sunlight immediately. Allow it to acclimate to the new conditions over the first few days. Only increase the light exposure once new leaves appear, the stem firms up, and the root system stabilizes. And there you have it, the entire process is complete. If your first attempt isn't successful, don't be discouraged. It could be due to the cutting itself, incorrect moisture levels, a waterlogged medium, excessive heat, or the cutting dehydrating before it could root. Gardening is a process of observation and adjustment. With every new attempt, you understand the plant a little better and gain valuable experience. Thank you for watching along with me from start to finish. Wishing you lots of happiness, healthy plants, and a garden always bursting with blooms.